Arsenal are set to send their first bid in for Victor Osimhen this week, according to various reports in Italy. Before we delve into this story, plus we're looking at Chelsea, we're looking at Tottenham with a bid for one of the most exciting young centre-backs in world football. And could we be finally seeing the exit of Mason Greenwood from Manchester United? Before we go any further, make sure you download the app for OneFootball. It's free. There is amazing content in there, up-to-date news, probably the best aggregator of news out there. They take all the best stories from all the best media outlets and put it into all one easy-to-follow, simplistic space. Download it now for free. It's available all around the world. And, of course, you will see some content from the Football Terrace on there over the course of the Euros with Dre, KJ and Dizzy actually on his way out there soon as well. So go over to OneFootball right now. Get that done. You can do it now or at the end of the show. It's up to you. But don't forget to scan that QR code or click on our exclusive link below. Now, this story that's come out of Italy states, according to various reports in Italy, Mikel Arteta has decided on his preferred striker target and senses an opportunity for a cut price deal. A journalist here said that as far as we all know, despite the monster offer from the Saudi Pro League, Victor Osimhen does not want to go to Saudi Arabia. Arsenal do not value him at 120 million. That's about 100 euros. That's about 110 million pounds, but just over half of that at around 63 million pounds. It says here that claims report that Arsenal will confirm their interest with an opening bid this week, which will be lower than Napoli's steep valuation. Now, look, some will say, well, I don't trust the source. And I actually understand that. At the same time, you know how we operate here at the Football Terrace. I'm going to tell you what the media is saying. We're then, you and I, are going to give our opinion on it. And what I like about the European press is that they don't do the PR job, where I think a lot of the press in England will say, well, Arsenal don't want it to be officially known that they're putting in an offer. So we're just going to say there's inquiries and nothing concrete until they feel it's really close and likely to happen. And then we'll ramp up the deal in the media. The European press, and we've seen this with examples in Portugal before and in Italy, they just tell you what they've heard. They're not actually out here we're trying to get a scoop, we're trying to be first, we're trying to sort of be scientific or forensic or sort of lawyer-like with it, where they get 100% like conviction rates. It's just we've heard this is going to happen. And Arsenal's bid could very much be a WhatsApp message between Edu and the president. It could be a conversation between two intermediaries. Some people say that's not an official bid. I have said for years I disagree. That is still an offer, in my very humble opinion, because if the president says, yeah, we'd probably accept that, then the official bid comes. So for me, the negotiations are underway. Will this go any further, though? I'm not too sure, but it's an interesting scenario. Osimhen doesn't want to go to Saudi. Saudi Arabian clubs are willing to pay his fee. Arsenal offering half that amount is clever from Arsenal, if true. He's a player that I personally rate. He's a player that I think has a lot to offer. And if you could pick him up, maybe a little bit more than 63 million. So you got him for 70 or 80 million. I still think that is a very good deal in 2024 for somebody that can be prolific. And with the volume of chances that Arsenal create, the regularity of that ball being played into the box, cutbacks, crosses, through balls, he will have the opportunity to feast. But as ever, I do want your views and I want your opinions in the comment section below. How much would you be willing to pay? Do you think he's worth it? And how credible do you believe these stories are coming out of Italy? Let us know in the comment section below. Now, moving on to Man United, a report from Simon Jones is that Valencia have made an offer for Mason Greenwood. This comes at a very interesting time. Greenwood doesn't have a future at Manchester United. I think most people would agree to that point, that he's done as a Manchester United player. Some like that, some don't. That debate's done and dusted. There's talk of an offer from Valencia, from Juve, of a loan with an obligation to buy that is somewhere in the region of about 50 million euros for the summer of 2025. Valencia, on the other hand, who have a strong claim to this transfer because Mason Greenwood and his family have reportedly fallen in love with living in Spain. They love the culture. The weather, of course, is brilliant. The food, the lifestyle. And they want to stay in Spain. That's not disrespect to Italy, but They love where they are. They feel settled within that country. They're looking to offer somewhere in the region of £25 million for Mason Greenwood. And this is another interesting situation. It's a smaller offer than what Man United could get from Juve, but it's where the player really wants to go. Could he then reject a move to Juve, causing Man United a bigger problem that he's still at the football club? I'm very interested to see what everybody thinks and feels. But look, either way, I think we'll get a resolution on him this summer. And that'll be a player removed from Man United's books, either officially or at least for the next 12 months in terms of wages. That gives us a lot of scope to open up and invest to really replace him, because he hasn't been replaced. And everybody's going to have an opinion on him for what he did, aka allegedly did. I have to say that for legal reasons. But that's a by the by. From a football, I'm talking here purely on a football basis, Man United still haven't replaced him. And we need to get that done. Removing him from the books, getting the wages gone, bringing in a fee is going to help us in doing that. Give us your thoughts and your feelings below. Now, moving across to West London, Ian Maatsen could possibly be part of the Jhon Duran negotiations. However, Chelsea are clear on this. They value him at his £35 million release clause. So essentially saying, look, we're maybe happy to include Maatsen in the deal. However, the total valuation cannot go above £35 million. 40 million is currently what we believe Aston Villa are asking for. So there is a £5 million differential. What I do find interesting is this: 35 million, fair enough. You know, Igal said it on the show last night, and I've reflected on it. And I actually think, do you know what? Fair enough. He has a point here. If the scouts truly, absolutely, truly trust 110% here what they see in Duran, then maybe you go with that deal as suggested. However, I look at the fact they're willing to let Ian Maatsen go, who I still think such a phenomenal, talented player. Just still feels weird to me. It just feels weird. And I'm not trying to disrespect Chelsea, because been very complimentary of the other players they are chasing, the other individuals they are looking at this summer. It's just what you're going to give. How much are you going to give cash plus Maatsen if that deal was to go through? I'm not too sure. I'd love to understand what Chelsea fans think and feel honestly about that situation. Let us know in the comment section below. Four-way fight for Xavi Simons. Bayern Munich have made an inquiry to sign Xavi Simons from Paris Saint-Germain. That's according to L'Equipe, who add to Arsenal, Man United, and Man City in the equation for the young Dutch winger. PSG previously said they have preferred loaning Simons out again next season, with a huge chunk of any transfer fee owed to a former club, PSV Eindhoven. And that's what's very, very key about this deal. It isn't that PSG don't want to sell him. It's that if they sell him this summer, they have to give PSV money. Where if they sell him next summer, there's no fee to pass on. So it's a little bit fugazi. It's not they don't want to sell him and are we going to develop him for a year and then PSG are going to take him back? I think a deal can be done to buy him in a year's time. But this is a real interesting one. I rate the player. I've seen him play on a number of occasions. He had a bit of a stinker, though. There's no doubt about it in the Netherlands' first game. Didn't really have any impact. He looked a little bit flat. And I've seen people jump on this bandwagon of, I told you he was rubbish. I find football sometimes to be such a weird space when it comes to fans. Everything is so agenda-based. I don't like him, or I'm going to be a contrarian and say I don't like him. And every time he doesn't perform brilliantly, I'm going to say, there, I told you so. Even though those I told you so's typically only come every 5, every 8, every 10 games. And in the other matches, you're quiet. It's very, very weird. It's a very, very strange situation that we're in. He's a highly talented youngster that, in the right environment with the right manager, I think he can deliver. He's done well in the Eredivisie. He's done well at his time in Germany. Now, I do believe the Premier League is a step up in physicality, in overarching quality. Why? The amount of players that have come from those two leagues, the Eredivisie and from Germany, and said it's a different kettle of fish. You've heard that from the horse's mouth. It's anecdotal, but it's come from so many people, I start to trust it. It's almost like a miniature study. So could he adapt to the Premier League? Well, look, he's got speed. He's not exactly a shrinking violet. He can go on the inside and outside. He scores and he creates goals. there is a chance that he could be a massive hit in the Premier League. There is no doubt about it whatsoever. Of course, I understand why Bayern Munich are looking at him. They really need to revamp their attack. But where do you all see him going? Where do you all see Xavi Simons going? Let me know in the comments section below what you think and feel. Now, this story was very interesting today. Very, very interesting today. Spurs are in for the Italian centre-back, and they're battling Juve for Riccardo Calafiori. Now, we all saw him absolutely stand out in Italy's opening game. He looked absolutely phenomenal. Now, I'm not going to lie. It's only a handful of times I've seen him play, but I thought he looked majestic. And I understand why Tottenham would be in for him. This is not a dig at Tottenham, so please don't take it that way. Please. I cannot for the life of me see a current starter in the Italian team leaving Italy. Rarely do Italian players leave Italy, the top guys. Very rarely. The majority of their team play in their national league. He has the opportunity to go to Juve. He's currently... My brain's just gone then. Why do I want to say that he's at AC Milan? Am I right or wrong? No, Bologna. Sorry, Bologna. And they had a very good season. Juve is a massive step up. They are such a historical, brilliant club in Italy. I just don't see Spurs having the pull. Not because Spurs are a small club, not because Spurs are a tiny club, but because it's Juve. Spurs are big, but he's Italian. Okay? He's Italian. He's in the Italian national team. He's an up-and-coming rising superstar. And Juve won him. Can't see it myself. It gives me the Bastoni vibes, who Spurs were also in for. Another phenomenal centre-back that I don't think gets anywhere near the praise and the accolades that he deserves. Just don't see them. Maybe for a Man City, maybe if you had Man United at the peak of our powers, you could attract these individuals. But even then, the vast majority of top Italian players don't leave Italy. That's my understanding. Unless someone's got a stat or a fact that disproves that and can change my mind, which I'm always open to, let me know. But listen, everyone who's tuned in, I want to thank each and every single one of you. You're absolutely amazing. Remember, go and download OneFootball right now. Get that done. They're helping us be out in Germany. And if you haven't done so yet, make sure you get across to the Football Terrace Instagram. Okay, the link's in our description below. Our entire journey, everything that's going on over in Germany, we're documenting for you. We're bringing it alive. Especially so many of us are at home. So many of us are working through this process, and you can't quite be there. Hopefully, it brings a little bit of it to life for you. So just go across to the Football Terrace Instagram. You can just go on Instagram and search Football Terrace. You'll find it, TF Terrace. Go across and get that done. Go and give us a follow over there, where we keep the journey alive. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you soon. Peace.